Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. Each week, my guest and I discuss one pivotal moment in their life, what they learned from it, and their words of wisdom. She was successful with a big sales role in the pharmaceutical industry. She had climbed the mountain and enjoyed all the perks that came with it. But something felt off. The view from the top wasn't what she thought it would be. So, she made the decision to walk away and start again from scratch in a completely different world. The world of fashion, style, and identity. What followed wasn't just a career change, but a redefinition of leadership, using personal style as a way for women to align how they show up on the outside with who they are on the inside. This is a conversation about walking away from success, trusting your instincts, and building something that truly matters. Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. I am so grateful that you are here with us today. Please welcome today's guest, Renee Lindo. So Renee is an executive image strategist. And if you're asking what that means, it means that she takes women, accomplished leaders, and helps them align their wardrobe with their leadership brand. Now, Renee, you and I met at Be Uninterrupted at one of the women's events, and I loved your style. Like, you just exude confidence. And so you and I worked together last year, and I have to say you had a major impact on just my overall confidence, right? Leaving corporate, starting on my own, and getting away from like jeans and hoodies was what I'd been wearing for 10 plus years. It's like, I need an adult wardrobe.
Yes.
So I am forever grateful for you.
And it was such a pleasure to work with you. And you look amazing.
It's so much fun.
I love it.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Thank you.
You look great.
So this podcast is all centered on one question, which is, what is one pivotal moment in your life? And the reason that I chose that question was, one, it's pretty universal question. We all have pivots of varying degrees in our life. However, I've found through my pivots that in some cases it can be quite lonely. And you can feel like you're the only person in the world who's gone through that particular pivot. And yet, once I talk about it, I find that, oh no, actually, there's an entire community of people who have gone through it, and that there's lots of people out there to help. And so this podcast is really a platform for people to share their stories, to talk to amazing leaders like yourself who have a great story and from which others can learn, not only about who these amazing people are, but also learn from their stories. So that's what we're doing here today.
Awesome. I love talking about that, especially changing from corporate to entrepreneurship. I think there's a lot that I didn't know when I made that change. And I'm always happy to share and talk to new entrepreneurs or anybody kind of making a change on some of the lessons that I've learned and the road that I've traveled. So
exactly. So let's just jump right in.
Yes.
So how would you answer the question, what is one pivotal moment in your life?
Well, the pivot was going from corporate and really making that decision, moving from corporate and deciding to bet on me and step out into entrepreneurship. And just a little bit of backstory on me and my corporate role. So I come from the pharmaceutical industry as a national sales director, led teams, worked hard, climbed this big mountain. And I was really at the top of my game. And then when I reached the top of this mountain, I'm like, oh, wow, I don't really want to be on this mountain. I kind of want to be over there on that mountain, right? And so after all these years of really working for something, when you get there, you're like, this is not really what I want, or I wanted to do more. So, I've always loved fashion and style. People have always come to me for help, even in university. Girls would come by my room for me to help them to get dressed. Some of my direct reports in corporate I'd take them shopping. So I said,
Good.
And I knew also that when I was around the boardroom table or having conversations with leaders or colleagues or direct reports, I just knew that when I showed up well for myself, when I was dressed well and felt good. It just gave me this confidence that allowed me to maybe negotiate better for myself, to ask bigger questions, more difficult questions, close bigger deals, negotiate salaries, right? So all of those things, even though we don't think about the impact of the clothes that we wear, they really are powerful tools.
Right.
And I said, if I could help other women to really tap into the power of their style, that's really what I'd love to do. It allows me to really marry my corporate background with my love for fashion and style and really create a space where women can feel empowered. They can feel confident. And many of my clients are really that over 40 woman, leader, professional, who is also navigating perimenopause and menopause. They're navigating life changes, whether it's career, whether it's a new job, some type of shift, marriage, divorce, weight loss, weight gain, all of those changes. We're still wearing clothes.
Right.
We still need to show up. And so with those changes, it's important at least for me, to help my clients to step into that space feeling confident and knowing how to, pick pieces that will accentuate their assets and not get dressed to hide a certain part of their body that they don't feel great about.
Right.
So that was a long answer, but that's kind of my background and how I got to be doing this work that I'm so passionate about.
Such a good answer. I love it. So leaving the comfort of pharma, you're at the top of the mountain, life's good, paychecks coming in, making some money, all good, to hard stop.
Absolutely.
Okay. So making the decision and actually doing it and starting your business are two very different things.
Absolutely.
So how did you do it? Where did you start versus where you are now?
So actually, in retrospect, as I think of it, I'm like, my God, I must have been delusional. I'm like, because I left a lot, quote unquote, a lot, right? As you said. So the golden handcuffs, company car, bonus, great salary, autonomy, to this space. So all of that is the known. Everything's already done for you. You have forms to fill in, you have PIPs, you have all the things. You have HR will give you people to interview, right? You have a process for talent, all of the things. And then you move to a space where you're an entrepreneur, you're creating from zero. Everything you have to create and figure out. And when I think of my story, I didn't move from pharma corporate to maybe a consultant in pharma. Right. Something completely different that I really didn't have any training in, knowledge about. I just knew that I loved it. I knew that I was good at it. So as you say, moving from all of this to a hard stop is really true, because I got up one day, I'm like, okay, no work today. So what do I do?
Right.
What do I do? So I just spent a lot of time learning, trying to learn on my own, Googling, YouTube, trying to follow people. I wasn't even really on social media. So trying to even figure out what social media was and how that works. It was just learning everything. So that's one of the key lessons for me that I like to share with folks. I was trying to eat and also learn at the same time. Hard.
Very
hard.
Yes.
Right. So I'd always recommend, if possible, it wasn't possible for me because I felt that I really needed to leave at that time. If possible, I really suggest that you try to build an audience when you're still employed or when you still have something going on. An audience meaning whether it's a little community, whether it's people who know you or know about you, know what you like. Try to build something so that when you leave, you have people to speak to.
Yes.
You have an audience who is engaged with you or they know what you're about already, so that there's something already there that you can work with, right? And build from.
Right. There's a framework.
As opposed to jumping from corporate to kind of nothing, right? And trying to create the community at that time, and then also try to sell, and then also figure out what's selling, and also figure out social media. So it's a lot.
Yes.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
So when you first started, were you really specific about here's exactly the women or the type of women that I want to work with? Or it was like,
no,
I'm trying to eat. I'll
Right.
talk to anybody.
Well, no. So interestingly, when I started off with an online boutique.
Oh,
So I started off, so it was online boutique and styling, right? So
Okay.
I stopped corporate in about September. And in October, I flew to Atlanta to a show with vendors retailers where I could see the pieces and buy the pieces for my boutique, online boutique. And so so I was going to do both online boutique and also the styling
Okay.
together. And then COVID happened
Oh,
very soon after. So
Yes.
I'm like, okay, there's no point in me continuing the boutique. What I really love is the styling piece. So I, kind of shut down the boutique and concentrated on the styling
okay.
piece of it. So I figured I can still reach women the way I want to reach them, but not carry inventory.
Right.
Which not just invest in inventory,
right. Which
right?
is so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then and also there's so many options available outside.
Yes.
Why? Right? I mean, I knew that I had a different eye and I could bring something new and different and unique, but there's so much good stuff. Why tie up funds with holding inventory? And if it doesn't sell, then what do I do? And all of that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And when did you hone in on like, I want these 40 plus
Right.
women whose bodies are changing?
Right. So that came later. So I knew,
Okay.
so after COVID, kind of that year or even into 2021 or so, when I let that go, I think I didn't really hone into my woman is this 40 plus woman until I'd say probably 3 years ago or so. Because I think as a new business owner, we always hear to niche. But I think it's really important that before you niche, I think you have to go wide.
Agreed.
Right? I think you have to go wide because you have to figure out what do you like?
Yes.
What do you like to do? What you don't want, what you not want to work with, what's not kind of your vibe. And then from that, you can start, when you say yes enough, then I think you get to a point where you can say more no's and really kind of narrow in and focus on. But I just knew, so with the different work, I did fashion magazine styling. I did, different kinds of styling. I will still do that. I still do brand shoots. I still do different things. But I just know that woman, because she's also me, right?
Yes.
My client is also me.
Okay.
I'm in that over 40 age group. I have that professional background. I have that leadership background. I'm also menopausal.
Yes.
So I get it, right? I get her struggles.
Right.
I can speak her language when I'm on social media, when I know what her pains and struggles are. And so I really lean into that.
Okay.
And my clients tend to resonate with the message and what I'm saying.
Exactly. And so your background is in like sales, marketing, and pharma, and translating that into fashion. Did some of those learnings help you in starting your own business?
Absolutely, because I think sales is about relationships. Sales is about, absolutely, I think business is relationships. So sales is about relationships and understanding your client, understanding your customer, understanding what their needs are, understanding how your solution can help, or can it even help? And I believe being good at sales is not necessarily cramming your solution down into everybody, but really figuring out what their need is and then seeing how best your solution can fit or not. And so similarly, in the work I do, it's relationships again, right? I'm building relationships and rapport with my clients. Women trust me, right? They're naked. They're going to get naked in front of me,
Right?
I'm going to be in their closets, their most intimate places.
Yes.
And so there has to be that trust there.
Totally.
Trust, building relationships. When I'm networking, I'm meeting different people all in different scenarios. So it's really about, being warm and being approachable and connection,
Yes.
right? Connection, I think, is the word that I'm searching for here. I think it's really about connection. And I think it works in sales, and it definitely works in personal styling as an image strategist to really connect with your clients.
Yes. Well, and having worked with you, you're absolutely right. Like, it's super vulnerable.
Absolutely.
It's like, here's my closet. It's a complete train wreck. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I loved about working with you was it was non-judgmental.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like, oh my God, seriously? That's the only pair of pants you have, Les? I'm like, yeah, that's the only pair of pants I have.
Yeah.
There was none of that. And so there's a comfort that you bring.
Yeah,
there is a genuine warmth that really helps, because I was up there literally on
Almost
a
naked,
Teams call with you
Yeah.
in my bra and underwear going, here's the next piece.
Right.
My husband's like, what's happening up there? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
There's you have to be really good and really comfortable as not only the person working with you, but very trusting.
Yes.
Awesome. And I think you're so good at that.
I'm glad.
So,
I'm glad that means a lot to
authentic.
Me. So thank you for saying that. When women come to me, it is such a big step, right? First of all, for that, because at this stage, our bodies have changed. We don't look like how we looked at when we were 20. But I just feel that we have so much life. There's so much that we have still to offer, and it just hurts my heart when we are playing small or sitting back or not being in pictures or opting out, right?
Yes.
I really want women over 40, 50s to opt in and say yes to life and put their hand up for more and to go for whatever it is that they want. And so many times at this stage, we are going into new things. Either we have gotten laid off or we've decided we want to really pursue our passions. And when we do that confidently, it changes everything.
Everything.
Right? When we can easily pick pieces that support our bodies, support how we live, support our goals, it makes all the difference.
Yes.
And, creating an environment where my clients feel comfortable speaking to me, that's really important, because I want you to tell me exactly how you feel.
Yes.
I'm not going to judge someone if they have a pair of pants. That's why they're coming to me.
Exactly.
So that I can help them.
Right.
Right. And I don't take that for granted. It is such an honor to be trusted, to help women on this journey.
Yes. So where did this passion come from, and how do you keep learning? I mean, every time I turn around, there's like new trends, there's new styling, it's wide leg pants. No, it's tight pants. No, it's whatever is happening. I was like, I have no idea. Yeah. Renee, just tell me what to do.
Yes. Where did this passion come from? I think my mom was always a stylish woman. She was beautiful, stylish, everything in place. As a little girl, we'd always go to beauty pageants and Miss Jamaica contests and fashion shows. When I was older, we'd shop together. So it was just a kind of it was something that we did.
Yes.
And we both loved. And so it just became a part of who I am and how I show up. And so how I keep up is I love it, right? So I am, where it would be taxing or like, oh my gosh, how do I keep up for someone else?
Yes.
For me, I do that in my free time.
Right.
It's relaxing. It's fun. It's important in my role that I know what's coming up, what are the latest trends, and all of that. But I also don't believe that our wardrobes need to change with all the trends.
Yes.
Right. I spend a lot of time trying to educate my clients on, hey, let's understand what your style is. What is your style? How do you feel most confident? How do you want to move through the world? Let's dress that woman.
Okay.
Right? Let's create the vision that you have for yourself, the goals that you have met. Who is she, right? What words resonate with who you are, who she is, what you're moving into? And then from that, we talk about the pieces that are going to align with this version that we're connecting with. Okay. And so when we have a great functional wardrobe that speaks to who you are, then when trends come, you can decide, say, hey, does that really resonate with who I am? Would I wear that? Would I buy that even if it wasn't the hot thing right now? And then it's easy for you to just add in a few pieces or a piece from the trend that you may want to try, or you may want to add a little freshness to your current wardrobe. And it's easy for you to do that because it still feels like you. I think a great functional wardrobe, I'd say, is about 80% wardrobe basics. And the 20% is for maybe trend pieces, maybe new things you want to try, or maybe a new color or something like that. But not a wardrobe full of trends and constantly changing. That's not style, right? That is just a wardrobe of that's too full with nothing that really feels like you. And that's where the struggle begins.
Yes.
That's where you're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Nothing works. I can't put an outfit together.
Correct.
So it's really about understand. That's the first step in my process. My process, my framework is a style story. That's the first step. The S is style clarity.
Okay.
Really understanding who are you. Let's get clear on the woman, who this woman is now, because she's changed, right? We've changed, and our style really just needs to evolve and change with the woman that we're becoming. We were fabulous and beautiful when we were in our 20s. Absolutely.
Yes.
And we can still be fabulous in our 40s, 50s, and beyond.
Exactly.
It's just going to make us look different.
Yes.
And that's the job that I take so seriously, is to help women to understand, who is she now?
Right.
How is she showing up now?
Right. Because part of what's happening in your 40s and 50s is like your body's changing.
Yeah.
Many of us have had children.
Yes.
There's bumps in different places that weren't there before. And then you throw in perimenopause and it's an absolute train wreck.
Absolutely.
Right. And so one of I think the challenges maybe for your job is there's so many different body styles.
Yes.
And how do you figure out what fits for each body style? Because I have to imagine there's
there are a lot. I mean, they're usually maybe about 5 or 6 kind of main body shapes, but as women, we don't all fit like cookie cutters into each shape.
Yes.
Right? So you may have somebody who is maybe heavier on the bottom, so she kind of fits that shape, but then there's something else going on right somewhere else. So, which is why if you Google how to address my body shape, you're not going to get the answer.
No.
Right? So
No.
you're not going to get the answer. This is individual. We're all different. And then our style as well is different.
Yes.
So, I was telling this story the other day. I had quite a few of my clients are lawyers.
Okay.
And so and it was interesting. I have a lawyer. She's a partner at a Boston law firm. I have a criminal defense attorney or lawyer in Canada. I have a family practice. So a few different types of lawyers. As people may say, oh yeah, well, great. Then you just copy and paste kind of their outfits. I'm like, not really.
No.
Because they are all different. I find my family lawyer, she doesn't want to wear a suit. She is, she works for the provincial government.
Okay.
I think, the health. No, she's a local organization. Yes. So she wants her clients to feel comfortable speaking to her, right? And she's not wearing a suit. Okay. Then I have my Boston lawyer who goes up against this white collar. She's a white collar partner. And she says, I used to wear suits every day, but our office, our company has decided that we want to feel a little bit more approachable to some of our clients. So when she's going to court, then she wears her suit. Yes. When she's in office, we dress her differently. Still sharp, but she's dressed a little bit differently. Okay. Then I have my criminal defense lawyer in Toronto, and she's like, I want to be fierce, right? Okay. And so we're dressing her fierce. Yes. Okay. So they're all different depending on the type of law and also the person.
Right.
Right? So it's, even though there's so many different things, it's really about who you are, your individuality. How do you want to show up kind of within, what's going to work best for my body shape? Yes. What's going to work best for how I live, right? I have some clients who travel all the time and others who don't. And they they work maybe half a day and the other day they're spending with their children. So how are we creating a wardrobe that's going to support, yes, she works, but then she's also on the soccer field and she is at play dates.
Yes.
So all different.
All different. So when you sit here today and you look back on when you decided to leave pharma, are you where you expected to be?
No, I expected like 6 months later I'd be top. Absolutely. And that's why I said the Lulu was definitely a thing, because I figured, I've been successful. I've been successful in pharma,
Yeah.
always at the top, rookie of the year, rep of the year, right? Award trips. So I said, okay, how much more difficult could being a stylist be?
Yeah.
I've been successful. So, hello, completely different, right? Completely different. We kind of touched on this before. Pharma to something much more creative, social media, not knowing all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm not where I want to be, but I can tell you the journey has been eye-opening. I've
Yes.
grown a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, about business, about people. And so here I am, and I'm
Yeah.
grateful for my journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
fun.
good. Okay. So what would be your biggest learning about yourself or the community through this process?
The biggest learning about myself is that I can do hard things. That's kind of cliche, but it really is true. There's so many times that I've been on my knees or cried or just like, why isn't this working? Or what's wrong? Or what didn't I do wrong? And just refocusing and just really that belief in, what, you have something special here. You're talented. Your work is important. And just keep going. So I can do hard things. I can face it when I didn't have clients, but I still had to show up, still had to be on social media, or I'd have lives when I was talking to myself.
Yes.
Right? Nobody joined the live.
Yep.
You still talk, you just still show up.
You got to still show up.
Right? And it's hard.
Yes.
Especially when you're coming from a career where you were successful.
Yes.
Right? When you were successful and everything was people came to you, you had the answers, you were the boss.
You're the person.
You're the person.
Yes.
And now you're in a space where not so much.
Okay.
I'm still learning.
Yes.
So at the beginning part, that was tough. But you know what? As I'm answering that question, I'm proud of the fact that I kept going.
Yes.
Right? I'm proud of the fact that I gave myself the opportunity to learn, to be a learner, because that was one of the things that I didn't want to leave. I was thinking about it before. I'm like, gosh, I'm at the top now. I'm going to have to start over from the bottom, which I really didn't want. I'm like, I've done so much. I've spent all this time to get here. I don't want to start from the bottom. But it just got to a point where I'm like, well, if I don't do it now, when will I do it? Right? When am I going to try? I've been successful for companies. I've made millions of dollars for them. Let's bet on me. Let's try. Let's see. I still have great skills. I'm still that person.
Yes.
So let's try it here. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't give up on me and
Yes.
just kept going.
And kept going. Yeah, the entrepreneurship journey is challenging, right?
Absolutely.
Some days you're like, whew, this
What's
is easy.
happening?
I got this.
Yes.
And other days you're like, did I miss something? What's happening?
Hello. What did I do differently today? Right? It doesn't
Yes.
even have to be that you did something different. It's just a part of it.
Yes. You were starting like right before COVID. So how did you get through the pandemic? Because you're building a business.
That was tough, right? And so in the pandemic, nobody was getting dressed. People were in their pajamas.
Yes.
People were virtual. So that was tough. So I thought about, during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of trainings for corporate clients. They're talking about how you're showing up on virtual.
Oh, okay.
How to put yourself together, even though nobody is seeing your thing, you
Yes.
still need to show up for your office, for your own energy. So I looked at the situation and said, okay, how can your style help in this? Even
Yes.
leaders talking to their direct reports, talked about having cameras on. So I did a lot more coaching or training around showing up well for ourselves. Our personal brand. I talked a lot about your personal brand.
Okay.
In a virtual space. So that was my business.
That's good.
then. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is that was very relevant during
Yes.
the pandemic, but
Yes.
it's equally
still-
relevant now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So I was one of the ones that, I presented all the data and I'd show them how to position their cameras,
Yes.
how to, their lighting, their backgrounds. So before people were talking about that really, and before it's like, yeah, the given, I was doing that as like, okay, how am I going to be relevant and
Yes.
and still have things to do. And then also what to wear if you're interviewing virtually, what to wear if you're with your team, talk about color. So all those things that I was doing
So
in
good.
person, saying, okay, what does it look like virtually?
Yes. That's amazing. I was on a call probably a year ago with someone, and she came on the screen. She had a great background. She was totally put together and looked amazing. And then I looked at myself on the screen and I went, uh-oh, I need to up my game, because I found over the pandemic that there was, everybody relaxed, right? And there's all the memes and the jokes about like everyone's wearing their jammies underneath and it doesn't really matter. And, but that was one of those moments for me where I was like, okay, wait a second. If we're doing this, if we're going to be an entrepreneur, I need to show up in a totally different way.
Absolutely.
Because now I'm not the corporate person,
Yes.
and that is very different.
Yes. And then when you're virtual, right? This little box, this is all you have. Human nature is still alive and they're still judging you.
Yes.
Few seconds.
Exactly.
Right? They're still making decisions. It's still happening, because that's what as humans is what we do. So you want to use your little box. That's your space. So you want to show up well there. And you don't have the benefit of body language, of working with people. You don't have that.
No.
So you really want to show up well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hard to work the room when you're on virtual. That's so good.
Exactly.
My last question for you is, what would be, based on everything that you've learned over the last while with this journey, what would be your words of wisdom for the audience?
Words of wisdom. I'd say, if there is something that you want to do, if there's something that is just burning inside, that you are a way that that you feel that you can help someone, I'd say give it a shot. That is really what I would say. I'd say give it a try, because my thing is, you're not necessarily going to, you still have all of this knowledge that you've built up over corporate or wherever you were before. And we have this one life, right? And so try. If it doesn't work out, then you can do something else. But I really think it's a disservice to yourself, or you're selling yourself short if you really don't try to do that thing that you really want to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I really think so. And who knows where it will lead?
Right.
We're not going to know, okay, it's going to be successful. There are no guarantees.
No.
There's not always going to be green lights every step of the way. You're going to come across some red lights. You're going to, but what I have found is that the more steps you take and when you continue walking, it's like when you drive, and I've heard this before, I thought it was a great analogy. When you're driving, the lights on your car, they only light up, I don't know what the distance is, but as you drive further, then more road is illuminated.
Yes.
Right? But if you stay back here and say, I can only see here, so I'm not going any further, then you don't go any further. But you have to keep stepping. You have to keep putting that foot forward. Yes.
I love that visual.
Yeah.
That's a great visual.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. And I know from personal experience that the work that you do literally makes a difference in how we show up as women, how we figure out how to dress our bodies. And it sounds counterintuitive. Well, you should just know. But when the body is changing so much, sometimes it's hard to know. And you were so good at what you do and are literally making a difference in so many people's lives, where now we can step up and lean in and own our space in a much more powerful way than we have been before.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me. What a great conversation.
So good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for joining me today. In case you couldn't tell, I'm a huge fan of Renee and how she works. I've met other stylists, but none have the same presence, aura, and gentle confidence. I applaud her story, as it's not just about leaving corporate, but making a huge jump based on self-belief. If this story resonated with you, please share it with somebody you care about. And be sure to subscribe so you can continue to hear more pivotal stories involving one question, one turning point, one powerful story. I'll see you next week with another guest on the Leslie Hawkins Podcast.